This is a Squiz podcast. We're your shortcut to being informed.
Squiz Kids! It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Good morning and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Friday, November 5. In Squiz Kids Today, Secret Santas in Bendigo toy bonanza. Good news for the Galapagos. Aussie school kids lend a hand, and in praise of whale poo. That's what's making news, kids style.
The lowdown.
Christmas has come early for 82 families in Bendigo in Victoria after a mystery pair of Secret Santas visited the local toy shop and paid for a pile of Christmas presents. The staff of the toy shop in Bendigo were in a state of shock yesterday, as were the many families whose Christmas stockings have been filled 2 months out from the big day. According to newspaper reports, the Secret Santas, who asked not to be identified and have only been described as a pair of local grandparents, told toy shop staff they remember having young kids themselves and how hard it sometimes was to afford presents for them at Christmas time. And so they wanted to give a little early Christmas present to parents in their community who needed a little help this festive season. The gesture cost the generous grandparents several $1,000s. If you're out there listening, you wonderful gift-giving grandparents, here's hoping you have a truly excellent Christmas yourselves.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in the Galapagos, a group of islands in the Pacific Ocean that belong to the South American country of Ecuador. Way back in 1835, biologist Charles Darwin visited the Galapagos and noticed how different the animals were on each island. For example, the beaks of birds called finches had a different size and shape on each island because they had evolved to best get at the unique food available on each island. These observations led Charles Darwin to develop his famous theory of evolution, which states that all living things develop and change over time. Fast forward to yesterday, and Charles Darwin's great-great-granddaughter Sarah was celebrating the announcement by Ecuador's government that it is expanding the protected area of ocean around the famous islands. The move will help protect whale sharks, turtles, tuna, and other important and threatened species that live and swim there.
Animal Kingdom.
A new study has found that whale poo is great to eat and really good for the environment. Okay, so it's only really good to eat if you happen to be a phytoplankton, which are microscopic marine algae and are a source of food for many other sea creatures. Scientists have found that whale poo acts like a fertilizer for the ocean, in the same way that cow poo is often used to fertilize gardens or chicken poo is used to fertilize lawns. Who doesn't love the smell of dynamic lifter? And for the first time, it's been discovered that by eating loads every day and then pooing loads as well, whales play a really important role fertilizing the oceans and helping ecosystems to thrive. Oh, and here's a fun fact. Whale poo is orange. Ew. Let's hear it for whale poo, people.
Squiz Kids salutes.
And it's a big Squiz Kids salute to the 1,500 kids in Australia and Hong Kong who entered the Fred Hollows Humanity Awards, which were handed out yesterday, with yours truly as a special guest invitee. To the winners, an extra big salute. The work you have done this year to help others in your community is truly inspiring. From Tom in Brisbane, who ran 2 kilometres every day for a month to raise money for cancer research, to Ilhan in Victoria, who raised funds for refugees in Syria, to Scarlett in Adelaide, who made earrings to raise money for a women's shelter, and Hamish from the ACT, who shaved his head for charity. Fred Hollows was an amazing Australian, an eye surgeon who travelled the world performing operations in far-flung countries to help people to see again. I've stuck a link to the list of winners in today's episode notes, as well as a link to the YouTube recording of yesterday's ceremony, which it was an honour to be a part of.
Pop Culture Corner.
Now, when it comes to Christmas, there are two sorts of people. Those who say it can't come soon enough and want to put up the tree now, like my Rosie, and those who think there's a time and a place for all things Christmas and it should never be celebrated too early. A restaurant in Texas in the United States belongs in the time and place camp, putting a sign on its jukebox this week warning customers, anyone who selects Mariah Carey's festive tune All I Want for Christmas on the jukebox before December 1 risks having their selection cancelled. Mariah herself belongs in the Never Too Soon for Christmas camp, posting a video to social media this week, making it very clear that now that Halloween is over, it's time to crank up the Christmas tunes. I've stuck a link to the video in your episode notes. But be warned, once that song gets in your head, it's hard to get it out.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What sort of massive marine mammal helps fertilise the ocean with its poo? That's right, they're whales. Question number 2. What is the name of the biologist who visited the Galapagos Islands in 1835 and developed his famous theory of evolution? Yeah, it was Charles Darwin. Question number 3. In which town in Victoria have a pair of secret Santas brought joy to 82 families? You got it, it's Bendigo.
Shout-outs.
It's November 5. Jonas' brother Kevin has a birthday today. And it's also National Donut Appreciation Day in the United States. Another holiday I could really get behind if we had it here. It's also a Friday, and you know what that means. An extra long birthday shout-out segment, for which I'm going to roll out the old birthday reggae tune. Hit it. And it's a happy birthday to Jagger and Kristen from Kempsey, Hugo from Yarramoola, Luca from Townsville, William from Hampton, and Poppy from Canberra. Not forgetting, of course, those Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday over the coming weekend. Cooper from Broken Hill, Georgia from Stanmore, Claudia from Vaucluse, Naomi from Glen Innes, Ivy Lulu from Voyager Point, Tanner from the Gold Coast, Thomas from Taralga, Angus from McLeod, Jaden from Warunga, and Arash from Murulbach. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout out, or if you're after a classroom shout out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again on Monday. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent weekend. Over and out.